All right, today we're doing a deep dive into a really interesting piece of tech, the NTI E-BEEP1-P600. It's called the Rugged Miniature Piezo Alarm.
It's quite a name.
It is, but I think that name itself kind of hints at this paradox we want to explore, right?
Absolutely.
How can something so tiny be so, well, powerful and durable? Its whole job is just to make a loud, continuous noise when things go wrong.
And loud is almost an understatement. I mean, we're talking about an output rated between 95 and 103 decibel.
And that's measured at 2 feet away.
At 2 feet, yeah.
Wow. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's like standing next to a jackhammer, isn't it?
It really is. And the truly impressive part is the power it needs to do that.
Right.
It's just a tiny 5 to 15 VDC input. It does come with a 12-volt power supply, which is handy.
So very little power for that much sound. And you mentioned tiny. What are the actual dimensions here?
It's about 1.3 by 1.15 inches. It can, fit in the palm of your hand.
So the word rugged in the name is doing a lot of heavy lifting then. What actually makes it so tough?
It really comes down to a couple of very deliberate design choices. The big one is epoxy encapsulation.
Okay, so what does that actually mean?
Well, they literally encase the entire circuit board in a solid block of this resin. So moisture can't get in, vibration from heavy machinery. None of that can really get to the core electronics.
I see. So it's basically shock-proofed and waterproofed from the inside out.
Exactly.
And I imagine the sources back that up with some pretty serious industry standards. I see things like IP68 mentioned.
They do, and those standards mean everything in the field. So IP68 gives you total protection against dust, and this is key, it can handle being completely submerged in water for a long time.
So if an outdoor enclosure floods, this alarm just keeps on going.
It just keeps going. And then there's ASTM B117.
Right. What's that one for?
That's for salt spray corrosion. So
Yeah.
you could think coastal facilities, oil rigs, even highways that get salted in the winter.
Places where corrosion is a massive problem.
A huge problem, yeah. And this is designed to just shrug it off. Add to that a really impressive operational temperature range.
How wide are we talking?
It'll function reliably from -4 all the way up to 149 degrees Fahrenheit.
So a freezing blizzard or a baking hot server room, it doesn't matter. That's incredible. But that brings up another problem, doesn't it? Connectivity.
Right.
I mean, these alarms aren't usually installed right next to the control panel.
Almost never. And that's where the wiring comes in. It's a simple 2-wire interface, but the engineering feat is the distance it can cover.
Okay, so how far can you actually run the cable?
Up to 1,000 feet.
Wait, 1,000 feet? That's, what, more than 3 football fields long?
It is, yeah. Over 300 meters.
How is that even possible with a low DC voltage? You'd think there would be all sorts of signal loss over that distance.
Well, the Piezo design is very efficient, but it's also about the specific high-quality cabling that NTI provides. They offer it in all sorts of lengths, and they've tested it to ensure it just works.
That's amazing. Okay, so it's tough, it's loud, it has incredible range, but for any big professional job, there's always the paperwork, the compliance side.
Oh, absolutely. And that's another area where it really shines. This is essential for those big installations.
So what are we looking at?
It has the standard approvals you'd expect, RoHS for environmental safety, UL for electrical safety.
Okay.
But the really big one that the sources point to is that it's TAA compliant.
And can you just remind us what TAA means in this context?
It certifies it for use in U.S. government contracts.
So that opens up a massive market. Defense, municipal projects.
A huge market, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all backed up by a 2-year NTI warranty.
So if we put this all together, the key takeaway here is this device is just full of contradictions, isn't it?
It really is.
It's tiny, but it's incredibly loud. It uses almost no power, but it can send that signal 1,000 feet away. It's built for absolute reliability.
Yep, where failure just isn't an option. And that leads to a really interesting final thought for you to consider.
Go on.
Given this kind of extreme ruggedness and reach, how does deploying this kind of durable miniature tech fundamentally change the math for remote monitoring? For all those environmental or infrastructural systems you interact with, think about how many maintenance checks this kind of guaranteed ruggedness could just eliminate.